Hi guys, and welcome to a special Stalker reading I'm doing on the Two of Swords. If you're new and you do not know what Stalker readings are, it's a particular reading I do on a particular energy that has caps showing up across the zodiacs. So it's a stalking energy, right? And then we pull it out, look into it, do a little Stalker interview to see what message do you bring, how you're playing out, what's your role in it, can and can't you control, how most likely outcome. Because of that, it's a collective reading. It's also a general reading, of course, so take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest. Never ever force it to fit if it doesn't. I'm putting a timestamp below for when the reading starts, but because I'm gonna go over some basics here, right? For instance, why is it this one and how, and blah blah blah. Let's get to it. I hope you're all doing well. You know what? First and foremost, just want to mention that I've been out painting today, so if you see white spots everywhere, that's why. Hair, skin, doesn't matter. It's one of those days, right? Okay, Two of Swords. We're using the After Tarot deck because that's where it showed up. It started popping up when I was doing the all signs you versus them. And then it stuck with me, right? And I was like, what's up with this Two of Swords? Now, does it matter that it plays out in the After Tarot? Yes, because the After Tarot has different... decks matter, alright? Decks matter. And... because we're dealing with before after tarot, yes, it absolutely matters when we're dealing with something that's after. Let me just lay out here first the basics of the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords has to do with a choice. It's a minor arcana, so it's temporary energy, but it has to do with a choice. It ties up to the High Priestess and the Hanged Man. The High Priestess being the moon, which, you know, did you know that the Two of Swords is associated in astrology with the moon in Libra? Did you know? Well, now you know. So now you know. So, as you know, Two of Swords is Moon in Libra, of course. You know that. Anywho, so that is Libra is the sign here of having balance, right? That's the choice of balance. Of looking at things from all perspectives and all of that. And the Moon is that of also associated with the emotional side, because Libra is a masculine, so it's not that emotional. That's why we have this girl sitting with water behind her. Right, that's usually traditional. You see, that's why we have this water and the moon. That gives the Two of Swords a very intuitive nature to it. And that moon and that water ties to the High Priestess as the major arcana, which is that of listening to yourself, your inner knowledge. She's looking inwards. Please remember, she always has a blindfold on here. That's what comes across all the depictions I see of the Two of Swords. She tends to have a blindfold on, right? Looking inward. High Priestess, inner knowledge, intuition, all of that. Hanged Man is also, that's reassessing. That's reassessing a decision that was made in the past, so you can move forward again. It is very much that, again, decision, choice, decision-making process, the power of making a decision. Because it will determine how you decide to move forward. A choice of truth. That truth you choose determines how you conduct yourself. But the thing is also about the Two of Swords is that, remember what comes afterwards, that is the Three of Swords. So, it's also not always the most comfortable position to be in. Making a decision is not always, fun. But we do it all day, right? But when we make a choice, when we make one decision to go in that direction, we automatically reject something else. That's a long philosophical debate we can go into. But is that a pain? The Three of Swords is that the choice coming down here. You make something evident and something invisible, right? Or you make this happen by not making that happen. Can you go back and look at it again somewhere down the line? Yes, you can with the Hanged Man, but time will have passed, so that which was not chosen will have changed in nature. Is that how it's going to play out here? I have no idea. We're going into the philosophy right now, right? So, anyway, but the Two of Swords, she showed up in reverse quite a lot, right? What does that mean? That can mean a lot. The Two of Swords can be you having sat there for too long, and now the decision is being made for you. It can also speak to feeling pressured, being pressured into something that you may not feel is for you. So we're going to look into it, right? We're using the archetypes here to see how it plays out, some keywords, and of course the After Tarot itself. And I'm going to lay out all the cards before I start speaking because I got a feeling it's going to be needed. Well, just want to make a last point. What did I say? That in the before tarot, she sits there by choice. She gets ready there. That's very important to notice there. This is someone here deciding to sit down and look inside herself. She protects herself because it's about listening to her own intuition. Because she can feel pressured when it's, everyone else is trying to dictate. That's why Two of Swords in relationships can also be a fucking power struggle. Let's see there. Very interested this depiction here about there being two men fighting for her. She's basically just giving away those swords. Those swords are her too. She basically just gave them away. She just sits there. All right, fight for me. I'm not gonna go into that one. I'm just. What I mean, it's just, for some reason or another, I feel as though she looks completely helpless. Like, I don't care. But it could also play out in ways where it's about, saying, you guys, you just do your shit. I'm gonna sit here and I can hear you. I hear you. But you know what? I have other things to do. But we're gonna see how it plays out, right? But it's basically about that. Who makes the decision of deciding truth? Let's pull out I'm gonna start by pulling out all of them, right? So reading starts now. By the way, guys, if you like this content, please I would appreciate your support. And feel free to disagree with me. Let's start by looking into, I'm going to look into the underlying energies, and then I will look into how she plays out and your role in it. What is your underlying energy? We're looking at you here. What is your underlying energy? What is your underlying energy for the collective here? That's so fun. When I was doing the other reading, it was the same card that showed up, the heart. I'm going to lay out all of the cards here. What is your relevance? What's the relevance? How are you playing out? How are you playing out? Right, currently. Yeah, the good news is, even though the other reading played a trick on me, it's just some similar energies that shows up. Alright, I'm gonna lay out all the cards because I'm not gonna go there again. Meaning that I just sat there and going, oh my god. Could have done this quicker. Let's see what more overall message here for you. So I know how is it overall associated with it. Co-create. Oh god. Okay. Do I need a life event? Yeah, let's put a life event to it. Yes. At least you know what we're going to pull the tarot together, but this is going out together. Show me the life event, and that would be outstanding personal achievement and meaningful and effective boundaries in reverse. Outstanding and personal achievement, having a significant milestone occurring in your life. Admirers and hater will follow. Of course, ground yourself. Sometimes these energies do not make sense whatsoever. That's basically all I can say about the Two of Swords. To me as a reader, I tried doing this reading before. She does not make sense when she shows up. But we're going to make her make sense. But maybe she will make sense too. I'm just gonna talk and then see what you get from it. Okay. She comes with the heart, which is a place of passiveness. The heart is a place that the heart here. It is the heart, right? The heart chakra, whatever you want to say. But as an archetype, the heart is a place. The place of where you find forgiveness and where you find peace. There's so much complexity with the heart as stereotype, the heart as an archetype here. Because it is a place of forgiveness, of stillness, which is also where she goes. But then we look at the men here fighting outside of her, so there's not a lot of stillness. So it may be that we have a situation here in which, in order for this woman here, girl, we're gonna see how it plays out in your life in a minute, right? But just overall, for this girl here to have stillness in terms of co-creating. She's going in there to find her pull upon past experience and past wisdom, basically, or truth. Her truth. She's finding her truth. Co-create. I'm gonna quickly look into the co-create if I can find this boogie book. Where are you, boogie? Alright, of all the things, where to go? Hold on. Alright, what we got here with the co-create, especially when I just look at the co-create, the heart, and the mirror that's in reverse here, I'm picking up on very harsh, possibly narratives you tell about yourself by comparing yourself with other people, or other people being harsh towards you. That might be what's going on. Maybe you're just a witness to it. To harshness in terms of how people co-create together. You might, I'm going to quickly, I can't shut it down here. I'm going to read it for you, because it's actually rather interesting here. Co-create. It's creativity, art, and inspiration, right? It's you know that sometimes you run across people who are just inspiring to you. That's how we grow together. That's how we co-create. It's not about dictating. It's not about telling people what to believe in, because that's the right truth. I don't know, personally, it's more about them living in that truth. That's inspirational. Depends on the context. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day through your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you must consider that you do this in partnership with the surroundings that you are placed in, right? Whatever it is that you believe in. That's belief system. That was belief. That's what truth. Truth ties very much up to forms of belief. You can believe in angels. You can believe in animals. You can believe in nothing. Whatever it is that you want to believe in. That comes to determine what it is, how you conduct yourself, right? Because it affects your thoughts. So that's also why critical skills are about also assessing those thoughts. Because you know what, there's always going to be people who disagree with you. It's just a matter of whether or not you go to war on it or not. Well, in all cases, it's that also about understanding that you also have your own intelligence. Whatever that means to you, right? Anyway, also see connection of the heart serves to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you would never have come upon on your own. When you look in the mirror, held up by this experience on seeing yourself in unexpected ways. For some of you, I gotta say, this is almost like having with the mirror here, right? The mirror is for some of you having been exposed at some point, or possibly even now, exposed to forms of harsh critiques because of your personal outstanding achievement, right? Maybe people don't like it, or maybe the achievement that you are achieving, which may be for you, it's a personal achievement. Personal achievement. I just want to point that out, meaning that it can be that maybe you lost weight. Right? It could be simple that you lost weight. That's a massive achievement. Dieting sucks, honestly. And then maybe someone here gets jealous. I don't know, but it's that about having harsh critiques. But it could also be that there's this harsh comparison with other people, of you being exposed to people being harsh on you, and you trying to go back there like that's not me. Forms of gaslighting. Well, let's see. That's basically a little bit of the message here about setting up meaningful boundaries. What it mean? Because one thing is setting up boundaries, another thing is setting up meaningful boundaries. Meaningful boundaries are boundaries that you have reflected upon, saying, I'm setting up this boundary because this is what I believe in. Remember, those boundaries are the masculine in you. That's the Libra here, right? The Libra, that's the masculine. That boundary is about putting into words what boundary that is, and how it works for you, and why it's set like that. What kind of belief system does it tie up to? Right, for instance, that of if you want to attribute it to some sort of external source, that's fine. But if some people will not, Let's see here, what else do we have here for it? It's just meaningful boundaries that become meaningful when you know why you said it. and how you said it. So it's not someone here just dictating it for you. That's that reflection, which she does. Remember, that's why I'm seeing these men here, they are out there fighting, and they are, this is her boundary, this is her boundary, this is her boundary, and she's like, yeah, nah, I will listen to you, but, you know, what about I listen in constructive ways, and then I'm allowed to set up my own boundaries. See here. We have higher levels of commitment, projecting past hurt, and a fresh start, and heart-to-heart conversations. For some of you, this is very much about, you know, having a conversation in a context where there could basically be about, you know, whether or not you want to sign a contract or engage in a higher level of commitment, where you or the person here could be projecting from within themselves onto you, and that's something to really be mindful of. Gonna give an example from my own life. I once experienced a person. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of context it was. A person who was came afraid of me. I know it wasn't love. Let's just say that became afraid of me because I reminded that person so much of themselves. That's the mirror. And that person became very harsh to me. They didn't mean because it was not. They didn't strongly dislike me. There was nothing disliked. We liked each other, but we were not capable of working that well together because this. And nothing to do than to remove myself from that situation, with still respect and care, even though there's some harsh words, because that was some harsh words that was said. Really, really harsh. That was, I've got to say, a little bit undeserving. But thankfully it happened at a point when I worked so much on myself that I was like, okay, I see where it's coming from. I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend to be a preacher or anything. There's nothing. It's just do the best thing here and be kind and walk away with grace. No harsh feelings, absolutely no harsh feelings. But that was projection, right? That's the mirror there. That's projecting past. See what we have here, projecting past hurt, is ask yourself, am I projecting? Am I observing a situation accurately? Or am I projecting how I feel and think onto the situation? Meaning that what happened in this case was it was a man, projected how he would have thought and felt in a particular situation onto me, which was actually not true. So this man was already predicting how I was going to respond to certain situations in future in certain ways, which was completely not true, but he was absolutely certain that that was how I was going to react. And I could tell him, I would not do that. I wouldn't do that. I may have that in me, but I have strong reflective skills, so I know not to do that. And take a step back and listen. And no, but I know you're going to do this. No, you don't. You don't. But the person was so convinced on that it was a block in that collaboration. But that's okay. That's absolutely okay, right? Of course, this is my take on that experience, right? Let's not go start any shame there. No. That's not how it works. Because I actually really respect that person. So but this is just a matter. That's how projection works here, right? Saying I think this person is thinking like this because I think like that. I think this person is feeling like that because I think that I feel like this. That's the typical. We think on others' behalf and we feel on others' behalf. We think our way into the feelings of other people. Anyway, let's see how it plays out in your life currently. For some reason or other that came out there. How does that have to do with the Two of Swords? No idea. Sometimes, I swear to God. Show me that, Hunter, how it plays out in your life. Did it again. 4 of Wands in reverse. The 10 of Cups. And the 6 of Swords. Okay, so the Hunter is, you guessed it right, that's my chaser. Who's the chaser? I don't even want to go there. The chaser is someone who struggles with saying goodbye, struggles with change, and the chase happens when someone has said no, because there's a difference between going for what it is that you want and then being met with a closed door and doing it differently. There's a difference, let's say it like this, there's a difference between chasing a career, for instance, versus chasing a person. Which is why I'm not fond of twin flames, because that is, I mean, I swear to God, anyone did that to me, they would get a restraining order. You mad. That is just a violation of my privacy. It's a violation of my autonomy, basically, right? Because that's what you hear people say. I think they feel like this for me. I mean, really? I think they're just scared. Really? Maybe they're not interested. Sorry, it's brutal. I know. I'm a bitch. Just saying it. I'm not gonna say it's a case of all situations. Maybe yes. I don't. Fuck it. The hunter is about, not knowing when to say stop. It's also about having the thrill. It's about, the chase, giving, releasing a reward system. It's basically like similar to breadcrumbing. Like you chase because you get that reward. Oh my God. They saw the photo I posted on Instagram and they liked, oh my God, they saw it. If they liked it, oh my God, I must put, that way you just basically give away your fucking purpose to get the attention of that person. It's just saying it. But how is it played out in your life? Well, for some of you, it is, by the way, also just completely different situation here. That some of you are, there's an environment here with the Four of Wands in reverse that's not really providing the support you need. It could also be a physical environment, right? Like a home, or it's not satisfactory. So you're deciding here to find a place that brings more balance, and that's moving you into calmer waters, basically. Right? But with the Hunter in reverse, there is, this chasing energy that's basically being put to a halt. Hopefully being put to a halt. Or it's a reminder here that you should probably... Yeah, no, I actually get that this is a chaser attached to you. I don't get this is you chasing, by the way. I can look at... That's why I'm so glad I put out these here. For some, sometimes I think I'm reading for the people who have people calling them... giving them roles that they don't want to be given. Sometimes I actually feel as though I'm reading for people who are involuntarily the villains in someone's story, I pick up on that too. Here. I'm reading for the other part. Yeah, let's see here. What we have here is the shapeshifter. Your role in it. You changed your mind. For some of you, you changed your mind. That's where we have this power struggle here. For some of you, I'm gonna say it. Of course, it could be on the other flip side of the coin. I am just gonna point out here that it may be that some of you have engaged with someone and they then started believing that this is a partnership. Someone here could be projecting all their past hurt into believing that this is going to be the end all be all, and they're starting to make these fantasies. I've seen it before. Some of you are witness to this. I'm reading what I see. And some of you have changed your mind. Show me your role here in it. Seven of Swords. I am so reading for the villain in this story. I'm reading for the King of Wands, guys. I am reading for the King of Wands, who is probably being called the worst things that the dictionary could call him. Seven of Wands, Seven of Swords, King of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. You know what, guys? I'm picking up on some of you. You have found something else. I see your heart singing. But your role in it is also, first and foremost, the role in your life here is that... first and foremost, I get as though you are some kind of you may involuntarily become a vessel for someone to throw something onto you. It doesn't have to be that you are the divine, that you are meant for them. So you could. It could also just be that, I don't know, it could be anything, right? We see here Receiving a significant milestone in your life, admirers and haters will follow. Ground yourself. I'm just seeing you being projected onto. What the fuck is going on upstairs? Oh, it is what it is, okay? I'm just thinking, please. Not too late. I have a long day tomorrow. So, yeah, that's what I see you rolling it. The King of Wands. I'm reading for the King of Wands. If the King of Wands is a person here who needs a lot of freedom. Well, you may not be the King of Wands, or there's a person here in your life. You may be more sensitive to it, of course. God, please place yourself, alright? I'm just gonna say it as it is. This is a hard one, okay? This person here needs a lot of freedom. I get this is you. You need a lot of freedom. You are a shapeshifter. You can be kind, nurturing, loving, kind one moment, but you can also basically disconnect if you have to. And then you can have these people here fighting out there, doing whatever they want. And in the meantime, you just go into that heart space of yours. I get as though your heart here, you're co-creating with your heart. You're co-creating with your own heart, and not so much with what's going on outside here, people projecting onto you. And I would say it's a good energy. What can't you control? There we have the ocean, which is the emotional depth. But also you can't control your own emotional depth. You can't erase emotions. Show here the justice. Yeah. For some of you, you can't control being someone's karmic. Just saying it. Some of you may involuntarily become someone's karmic because you say no. It showed up in other readings again, where I can't remember, was it Taurus or something like that? Or Gemini? Someone that was definitely, I have picked up on some of you guys, also Leo, ending up in connections where someone was emotionally immature. Well, you can't control that. But what you can't control, you can't control karma. You can't control the healing journey of someone else. It's not your responsibility. You can't control the emotional angers or responses of someone else. It's not for you to determine that. Their emotional depth, that's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to heal someone else, basically, right? That hurts, but that's also forgiveness. For instance, if someone here sits there in your face and they blur out all kind of, madness. I'm gonna call it madness. Doesn't have to be, right? That's not. Please refrain from shaming here. I know sometimes I can sound like I'm not. I'm just saying that sometimes you will. Alright, let's say. Alright, give an example here that's more human and more simple. That teenage daughter or teenage son, typically daughter, right? That screams at their parent, "You are the worst thing that ever happened," and they're just mad at the current moment because they didn't get their will, right? It's like, but I want a car, but we can't afford a car, but I want a car. You are the worst thing, father that ever happened. Like, yeah, but you know what? And then they slam the door. But that's basically learning to live with disappointment. That you, if you can't afford it, then you can't afford it. That's part of growing up. But you can't control that anger there. You can be there. Well, different when you are a parent, and especially at that age group, it's part of your responsibility to raise. But let's say that you have a friend that screams at you because you don't want to give them a car. It's like, fix your own shit. Sorry, but that's, you know what I mean. You can't control that. You also, by the way, you cannot erase the experiences you have been through if this has to do with you going on a journey of forgiving yourself, because that showed up in the other reading that I have erased about going on a healing journey. You can't erase what you've been through. You can have radical acceptance and use it to co-create. Forgive yourself. Forgive others, but especially forgive yourself. The most important thing about forgiveness is about forgiving yourself for what you didn't know at that time. Show me here the Queen. But you can control Ace of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. See, that's the thing. God damn it. The Queen of Swords, no, the Queen. Who is she? She is what's behind the King. The Queen also has a lot of power. The Queen is the one where the King is the ruler. Well, the ruler, the leader. King, the leader, the one who administers, the one that does all the practical. The Queen is just aligned with him. She's not always as visible as the King. But she has a very, very important part. Think of the First Lady, right? She inspires. She initiates. She uses her position to initiate a lot of new projects. Like, was it Eleanor Roosevelt? I can't really remember what she started, but she started a lot of new projects. I think she started that. No, goes further back, right? First ladies, all of them always had something, to pay to some sort of course, place attention into, and in that, by them using the position that they were in, they were able to put that on the agenda, turn it into some sort of awareness, right? It doesn't matter about what party, whatever their husband belonged to. They were not in that political. You see, that's the Queen. It was not part of that political thing, the party thing, right? She just was in a position, and she used the position to do good. That's the Queen. The Queen is someone here who has the power because of the position that she's in to be an influence. And then we have the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Of course, this screams a little bit, cleaning up, being guilty for some reason. I don't know if some of you really have imposter syndrome. Some of you could actually have imposter syndrome. For some of you, you may also be experiencing that you have changed to someone. You are no longer who you were, some time ago. And then someone here that could be standing outside there wanting to fight for you, decide for you, and you're no longer that person. You have self-determination. Your heart is here. But you know what? I actually get that being a good thing. Because it makes two people be equal. If the person you're dealing here with can accept that, right? Most likely outcome, we have the Stone in reverse. That's stone cold. It's not the stone of, there being something here, always being here with you forever, no matter what it is that you do. And that's the Stone. The Stone has this, it's solid about it. But when it stows up like this, it's actually being stone cold. Stone cold. No movement. I just looked underneath here. I mean, these readings always go a little bit, Guys, I just do them. These Stalker readings, I just do them, and I talk about whatever shows up, and you can take it, leave it. That's why I probably should not do the outcome for these readings, because there may not always be an outcome. It's more about the messages that come through. But let's see what we have here. The Stone. We have Temperance, Four of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. Oh, forget it. Meaning that I get a little bit of a drama. I kind of want to look into what's going on outside. Yeah. Guys, I really strongly pick up on there being environmental factors here that's just outside of your control. They are truly, utterly outside your control. That's why it really mattered that it showed up in the After Tarot deck, as opposed to, the before and the regular decks, where she's always alone, because she's not alone here. That's really what strikes me. She's not alone. Well, anyway, I see there's something here being completely stone cold, in that someone's values may simply just not align. Someone's not willing to open up, they're cold, and that's that, and they're projecting, and that's that. There's not much to do. As I said, there's nothing here you can do to control that. You can't, by the way, you can't control how someone's own murkiness, or how they respond to the emotional depth of themselves or of you. Have them respond to you if they decide that you are too deep to deal with, or that you are, you're too emotional to deal with, maybe. for them, that's what I'm saying. They may say you are too emotional. Well, then in that case, that person is not the right for you. Right? Oh, you're so sensitive. Oh, you're so emotional. Well, yeah, no, find someone who will appreciate that about you. Right? That's all. There's got to be people who appreciate it for who you are. Of course, not gonna. Everyone, we're always gonna have, you know, things we adapt to and small compromises. But in the end, gonna appreciate the small weirdness in the people we care about, right? But most likely, I do see you being very, very happy. I see you. Look at that. Would you look at that? The High Priestess and the Hangman underneath there. I see you. This Two of Swords here. Oh my God! Forget it. This is awesome. Nine of Cups, Two of High Priestess, Hangman, and the Magician. This is. I kind of wanna, you know, do a flip flop of happiness here, because this is, yay. This is being happy, not happy within yourself, understanding your own inner truth, using that inner truth, as we see here, to take a different approach, to look at things differently, and then you just start manifesting something new, more aligned with you. And then, of course, people are gonna disagree with you, absolutely. But you know, it's just, guys. One day, I just wonder, you know, I gotta learn how to stop, because just when I'm about to say yay, then drama comes. How do you guys attract this? It's not coming from me, guys. I never, not this. Are you mad? Is it the culture I'm in or whatever? It's just, I don't. Anywho, most likely outcome there, yes. Something turning stone cold there. I'm seeing a lot of, for some of you also, forgiveness of a father. An absence of someone. That's actually what I'm seeing. For some of you, where this has, you know, to do with healing some sort of a family situation, is forgiving an absent father. Could of course be a mom in terms of person, but is that the father energy who had flaws, such as being cold, not being emotional, responsive to you. Could of course be a person who held that fatherly role in your life. For some of you, you know, this is actually having a conversation, just basically, this is a whole conversation in some area of your life with someone, in love or not love, of just voicing out, saying, you know what, I did not feel supported and recognized for the achievements that I have done in my life. I felt possibly neglected, just playing out what I'm getting here, right? It's not, trust me, it's not my, you know, not appreciated for that. And they were distant there. It's a forgiveness of that. It's almost like forgiveness from a distance. Forgiveness for having been abandoned in a time of need. And you, as I always say, these are subjective experiences. How you felt abandoned is up for you to determine that for yourself. I'm not going to sit here and determine that, because it doesn't have to be in childhood. It can be they weren't there for you at a particular time, right? That's what we have here for you. It's a good energy, by the way. It's just, we're just wondering what was the purpose of this reading, but I was curious, and that's what I just think, I honestly just feel as though I get the entire background story here. It's how would it play out in terms of love? I feel as though I'm picking up on a process occurring in a catalyst connection, which is a connection here that kind of prompts you to start having an inner dialogue. Of course, it can, as we went over previously, it could also be the typical chase narrative, right? But as I always say, those people don't come to this channel, so maybe you just witness to it, okay? No one on earth watches these Stalker readings. Maybe I can't imagine they would like to, because there's nothing here for that. So I know who watches the Stalker readings, and most of you are on your own journey, or you watch it to, I don't know why you watch it, but I appreciate it. So, and that's what I have for you. I will see you next time.